Hey everyone, I know I totally fell off the Veda wagon and it's done and over with now. Yay! Um, but I wanted to come on here and do a quick vlog about acupuncture. Many of you that I've been watching or have watched me know that I'm like a massive, huge fan of acupuncture. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with myself with it and with infertility. Because originally I started going 4 years ago. I'm going to open up a little bit so you guys are going to know a little bit more about me, which I'm not very, I don't know, like I've kept a lot of the issues I've had the past 4 years a secret from a lot of people. But anyways, I was in a car accident my junior year of high school, which was a long time ago. It was a really, really bad car accident. We were on our way to the Aerosmith concert, and my friend had pulled out in front of a massive SUV that basically squished us. I fortunately left with just glass shards everywhere, and I had bruising and burn marks on the inside of my arm from actually the seatbelt. And I was very, 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 very lucky, and they made that very, very clear that if my window wasn't down, I would have smashed my head. If we weren't 6 inches more, if we hadn't been hit a little bit before, I would have gone right into the telephone pole. So I am beyond thankful for that. But my friend was in a coma for 2 weeks. I unfortunately don't speak to him anymore, but because you grow apart once you leave off for school. But anyways, one of the major things I did suffer from, well, after the accident and not realizing it until way after the accident, is my neck was killing me. I would get headaches and all this stuff, and it's probably from whiplash. Come to find out, about 6 years later, I finally got them to do an MRI. Now, this is after tons of testing they did on my brain because of the way that my headaches would come. They kept thinking that I had migraines and a specific type of migraine, and they would do MRIs in my brain to make sure I didn't have a tumor and all of that. So they did all of that, and finally I said, please, please do an MRI of my neck. They did, and I had a slight bulging disc. And because of that, and because it took so long to fix, my muscles have just all tightened up, and it's really hard to get them not be tight. So I went through rounds of physical therapy. I was doing a massage. I met this woman who actually did it. She was awesome, and I really appreciated it. She did it for super cheap, and I'd go like twice a week. But nothing was helping. And I don't even remember how I remember someone mentioning it to me, and I was like, I'm not sticking needles in me. Are you kidding me? And I don't even remember my first consultation. It was so long ago. It's like almost I want to say it was October 2008. Maybe it was 2009. But anyways, besides the point. I went to her and I complained about my neck, and she did amazing things for me. I had really bad anxiety. I was diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and anxiety from the car accident, because it was just obviously a very scary thing. It was very hard for me to be in cars with people. It was very hard for me to be in traffic. I'm claustrophobic anyway, so then you put me in traffic and forget about it. And I really didn't trust anyone else on the road. So she super helped me with my stress. I was having panic attacks after panic attacks. And honestly, I'm not the type of person that's going to jump and take drugs. Infertility is the first time I've actually done that. So she was amazing. She's a godsend. So originally I had gone for that. PTSD, anxiety, neck pain. And I don't even know. So I was still on birth control, I think, then. And that following, April, I went off birth control. because I love how if I put my hand up here, it's like lighter. I went off birth control because I was just having issues with it. It just didn't like me. I didn't like it. So I went off of it. And I wasn't getting my cycles back. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gotten my cycle back. The treatments that she did helped me get my cycle back, helped regulate my cycle. It was awesome. So then from there, I continued going. I'd take breaks here and there. The past 2 years, I've consistently gone for these past 2 years. But between those, I would take breaks. But with acupuncture, what you have to do is when you first go, you have to consistently go a lot. And I think someone had said it's like physical therapy. In order to get better, you have to go like a lot at first, and then you can space it out. And that's basically what acupuncture is about. So now that I've gone so much, I can just kind of go whenever and kind of just have tune-ups. But because I'm still battling infertility, we do every 2 weeks ovulation and cycle when my cycle starts. So then I went to her and I said, I'm trying to have a baby and it's not happening. And we did that for a while. And I know it didn't work, but for me, it's a relaxation technique for me. I can't sit here and meditate or sit here and do yoga poses or go to a class. I'm very rambunctious and I need something to basically like drug me down, and that's what the needles do. They just make me pass out, and it's so relaxing for me. So the benefits I reaped from it is the fact that not only has it helped me physically, my muscle wise, but mentally for the stress and the anxiety and the panic attacks. It's regulated my cycle. I was having less heavy cycles for a really, really long time until this past cycle when I had, actually since my miscarriage, I can't really say anything because it's been off, but before I got pregnant, I was very short, light cycles. So it's been super, super, super helpful, and I totally believe in it, and I tell everyone to go if you have an issue. If you can't find a solution through anything else, I would highly, highly, highly recommend going to acupuncture. So last night I went to acupuncture, and we did a little bit of different treatment, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit because my cycle was not normal this month. If you went back and watched my videos, I had 2 LH surges on cycle day 10, cycle day 17. Mind you, I typically don't ovulate until between 17 and 21. My temps never rose. They all stayed in the 96s, never bounced out of the 96s. And my last cycle was 28 days, which was weird because usually my cycle's in the 30s because the cycle before that was 35 days. So last cycle was 28. And so I figured, this cycle's maybe going to be 28 too, since the first surge I got, my body was trying to ovulate on cycle day 10. So I'm cycle day 28 today, and so far, no AF. My temps did drop, if they could drop any lower. I was like 96.4, and then 96.5, and then this morning I was 96.8. So I don't know what's going on with that, because usually my temps drop, I get outflow, and then we start all over again. So yesterday when I went in, I told her that, and she kind of looked at me and she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, and I totally didn't ovulate. Like, my temps never rose. I didn't feel like I ovulated. They were really quick LH surges. Like, I tested them out within like 10 hours. They were gone. So we did a really intense treatment today. We did a lot of points. So basically when you go in, am I acupuncturist? I know a lot of acupuncturists are different, but I was there for an hour and a half. I'm always there for pretty much an hour and a half to 2 hours. She's awesome and really takes care of me, and I really, truly appreciate it. But I go in there, first I lay on my back, and she checks my pulse and points and stuff like that. And then covers me in needles, and I had a bunch of needles in my cheeks and my stressor point, because I had swollen from my TMJ. So, which, oh my God, I slept like a baby because of it. The weird thing though last night is, I don't want to scare anyone because this is not bad at all. Like, at all. You can't feel the needles at all. Okay, some of them you can if you have a really hard point like I do. But it's just a slight, tiny, tiny pinch. But I bled from like 6 spots last night, which is so not normal and never ever happened in my 4 years of going. And she was like, "This is weird. Like, did you take Tylenol or aspirin or anything?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't taken anything at all." So that was weird. We're both kind of stumped with that. But anyways, so then I flip over, and I usually do cupping. So if you want to know what cupping is, I would definitely Google cupping. It's awesome. It's my lifesaver. It's better than a massage. So usually I do cupping. But yesterday she decided to do a sage and ginger treatment on my back. So it's like a rub. So she rubbed that all on my back and then used a cup, but did sliding cups. And I have a very high tolerance to pain, and she's learned that. And last night I was in tears. I mean, it hurts really bad. But if I can tell you how different I feel today because of that, I can't even explain it. So basically what that did was to bring all the blood to the surface. And it was a really intense treatment to try and bring AF on. So she said my pulse was definitely PMS-y, but I don't really show any other signs she's coming. So I'm praying that she decides to show up today or tomorrow. But I just love acupuncture, and I would recommend anyone to go do it just to try it. It can be expensive, but the amount of money that you spend on drugs and all of that other stuff, doctor's appointments, physical therapy, it was cheaper for me to do this than to do physical therapy for me, with my copays. So, I mean, if it works, it works, and it works for me. And whether or not it's a placebo effect that I have no control over, it works. I'm not going to lie. So I would totally recommend it, especially if you're a newbie to treatments. If you find a really good acupuncturist like mine who knows a lot about infertility, she knows a lot about IVF, she knows a lot about IUIs. So it's really easy to talk to her and plan out months in advance with how we're going to do cycles. She's had a very high success rate with IVF patients, and I do believe the month that I did get pregnant, I did still go to acupuncture, and I think that is a huge reason why I did get pregnant, on top of the fact that I was on vacation and I wasn't stressed and all that junk. But I just really, really, really recommend it. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not anything, I'm just a patient, just telling you my experience, and I love it. So if you have any questions about acupuncture, I've been doing it for 4 years. I've done it for multiple medical health conditions. So if you have any questions, private message me or comment below, and I will try and answer them the best that I can. But if you are interested, I would definitely at least go for a consultation. I think it makes a huge difference with infertility drugs, and the whole process. It calms you down, and I think it's awesome. And it has shown, research has shown it has significantly helped IVF patients. So if you are going through IVF, I would totally recommend doing it as well. So yeah, so that is my really long 15-minute vlog on acupuncture. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can private message me or you can comment below. And I will see you guys later.